Why here's a business soon dispatched? Thy heart I know is now at ease. Thou needst not fear when the talent gossips to speak against thy fame. Thy child shall know who to call dad now.
You have discharged the true part of an honest man. I cannot request a fuller satisfaction than you freely granted. Yet, methinks, 'tis a hard case, being lawful man and wife, we should not live together.
Had I failed my promise of my truth to thee, we must have ever been sundered. Now the light of forbearing by this company is only but to gain a time for a continuing thrift, that some hereafter the heir that shall be born may our cause to curses our birth, which made him feel the misery of beggary and want. Two devils are occasions to enforce a shameful end. My cross aim but to keep my mother's love.
And that will be as difficult to be preserved, when she shall understand how you are married, as will be now, should you confess it to her.
Mothers are won by degrees, not bluntly as our wrong friends or masters are. And besides, a use of dutiful and ready means that an heir should have notice of what's past. The inheritance to which I am born heir shall be assured. That done, why let her know it? If she like it not, she shall not have power in her left to cross the thriving of it.
You, who in the conquest of my maiden love, may easily conquer the fears of my distrust. And whither must I be hurried?
Prithee, do not use such words so much unsuitable to thy constant husband. Thou shalt live near Walton Abbey with thy uncle Salmon. I have acquainted him with all at large. He'll use thee kindly. Thou shalt want no pleasure, no any other fit surprise, whatever thou some hearts can't desire.
All these are nothing without your company.
Which shalt have once in a month at least.
Once a month? Is this to have a husband?
Perhaps oftener, as occasion serves.
Aye, in case no other beauty tempt your eye, whom you like better, I may chance to be remembered and see you now and then. Faith, I did hope you not have used me so, 'tis but my fortune. And yet, if not for my sake, have some pity upon the child I go with at your own. Unless you be a cruel-hearted father, you cannot but remember that, heaven knows how.
To quit fear at once, as my ceremony lay performed, I plighted thee a faith as free from challenge as any double thought. Once more in hearing of heaven in thee, I vow that never henceforth disgrace, reproof, lawless affections, threat, or what can be suggested against our marriage shall cause me falsify that bridal oath that binds me thine. And Winifred, whenever the ransom heat of youth by subtle baits, draw me only loving thee, let heaven inflict upon my life some fruitful ruin. I hope the spouse believe me.
Swear no more, I am confirmed, and will resolve to do what you think most behoveful for us.
Thus then, make thyself ready at the furthest house upon the green, without the town. Your uncle expects you. For fair time, farewell.
Sweet, we shall meet again as soon as thou canst possibly?
We shall. One kiss. Farewell.
Frank Thorny.
Yes, sir.
Alone? Then must I tell thee in plain terms thou hast wronged thy master's house basely and lewdly.
Your house, sir?
Yes, sir. If the nimble devil that wanted in your blood rebelled against all rules of honest duty, you might, sir, have found out some more fitting place than here to have built a stews in. All the country whispers how shamefully thou hast undone a maid, a proof for modest life, for civil carriage, till thou prevailing perjuries enticed her to forfeit shame. Will you be honest, yet make her amends and marry her?
So, sir, I might bring both thyself and her to beggary, and that would be a shame worse than the other.
You should have thought on this before, and then your reason would have oversweet the passion of your unruly lust. But that you may be left without excuse to sell the infamy of my disgraced house, and 'cause you are a gentleman and both of you my servants, I'll make the maid a portion.
So you promised me before in case I married her.
Well, Frank, what thinkest thou of 200 pounds in a continual friend?
Though my poor fortunes might happen to prefer me to a choice of a greater portion, yet, to right a wrong made, and to preserve your favor, I am content to accept your proffer.
Thou shalt have it.
Ah, and more than so, I have promised her. Then I claim your promise. We are man and wife.
Already?
We, and that's why I have promised her free entertainment in her uncle's house near Watson Abbey, where she may like secretly sojourn till time and my endeavors work my mother's love and liking.
Honest, Frank.
I hope, sir, you will think I cannot keep her without a daily charge.
As for the money, 'tis all thine own. And though I cannot make thee a present payment, yet thou shalt be sure I will not fail thee.
But our occasion.
Nay, nay, talk not of your occasions. Trust my bounty, it shall not sleep. Hast married her in faith, Frank?
She's
'Tis
making.
well, 'tis passing well. Then, Winifred, once more an honest woman. Frank, thou hast a jewel. Love her, she'll deserve it. And went to Waltham.
She's making ready. Her uncle stays for her.
Most providence be. Frank, I will be thy friend and such a friend. Thou'lt bring her thither?
Sir, I cannot. My mother sent me word I should come to her and go to claim her.
Marry and do. I know there has to win to handle her.
I have a suite to you.
What is it, Frank? Anything, command it.
That you please by letter to assure my mother that I am not married.
How?
Someone or other has certainly informed her that I propose to marry Winifred, on which she threatened to disinherit me. To prevent it, I will only crave your letters, which she seeing will credit.
But what is there to quit? My knowledge of the marriage?
Why you are not a witness to it?
I conceive, and her land confirmed, thou wilt acquaint her thoroughly with all that's past.
I mean no less.
Provided I was never made privy to it.
Alas, sir, am I a talker?
Draw thyself the letter. I'll put my hand to it. I commend thy policy. Thou art witty, Frank. Nay, nay, 'tis fit. Dispatch it.
I shall ready fetch thee.
Go thy way, cuckoo. Have I caught the young man? One troubled then is freed. He that will feast at others' cost must be a bold-faced guest. Win! I've heard the news. All now is safe. The worst is past. Thy lip, wench. I must bid farewell for fashion's sake, but I will visit thee suddenly, girl. This was cleanly carried. Was it not, Win?
Then were my happiness that I in heart repent. I did not break from the dower of our virginity. Sir, forgive me, I have been much to blame. Had not my lewdness given way to your moderate waste of virtue, you had not with such eagerness pursued the error of your goodness.
Dear, when I hunt this art of mine, it shows how cleanly thou canst beguile in occasion serve for practice. It becomes thee. Now we can share free scope enough without control or fear to interchange our pleasures. Come, wench, tell me, when wilt thou appoint a meeting?
What to do?
To con the lesson of our loves, our secret game.
Oh, blush to speak it further. As your noble gentleman, forget a sin so monstrous. 'Tis not gently done to open a cured wound. I know you speak for trial. Troth, you need not.
I for trial, not I by this good sunshine.
Let me resolve you. If you appear at any visitation that brings not with it pity for thy wrongs done to abused Thorny, my kind husband, if you infect mine ear with any breath not thoroughly perfumed with sighs and former deeds of lust, may I be cursed. Even in my prayer, when I vouchsafe to see or hear you, I will change my life from a loose whore to a repentant wife.
Wilt thou turn monster now? Art not ashamed after so many months to be honest at last? Away, find it!
My resolution is built upon a rock. This very day young Thorny vowed, with oaths not to be doubted, that never any change of love should cancel the bonds which we are to either bound of lasting truth. And shall I then, for my part, unfile the sacred oath set on record in heaven's book? Sir Arthur, do not study to add your lascivious lust the sin of sacrilege. For if you but endeavor by any unchaste word to tempt my constancy, you strive as much as in you lies to ruin a temple hallowed to the purity of holy marriage. I have said enough. You may believe me.
Get you to your nunnery. They're freezing your cold cloister. This is fine.
Good angels, guide me. Sir, you'll give me leave to weep and pray for your conversion?
Yes, away to Waltham. They're pox on your honesty. Had you no other trick to fool me? Well, you may want money yet.
None that I'll send forth to you for higher damnation. When I am gone, think on my just complaint. I was your devil. Oh, be you my saint.
Go thy ways as changeable a baggage as ever cousin knight. I'm glad I'm rid of her. Honest, Mary hang her. Thorny is my debtor, and I thought to have paid him too. But fools have fortunes.
You offer, Master Carter, like a gentleman. I cannot find fault with it. 'Tis so fair.
No, gentlemen, I'm Mistress Thorny, and spare the mastership. Call me by my name, John Carter. Master is a title my father, nor his before him were acquainted with. An honest Hertfordshire yeoman, such one am I, and my word and my deed shall be known once at all times. I intend to give you no security for the marriage money.
How? No security? Although it be not so long as you live, yet who is he has surety of his life 1 hour? Men, the proverb says, are mortal, else for my part, I distrust you not, were the sum double.
Double, treble, more or less, I tell you, Mistress Thorny, my security shall be present payment, and we here about Edmonton hold present payment as sure as an alderman's bond in London, Mistress Thorny.
I cry you mercy, sir. I understood you not.
I like Frank well, and my Sue does too. She has a fancy to him which makes me willing in my purse. Now there may be many suitors that make much noise to little purpose, but if Frank loves Sue, Sue shall have none but Frank. 'Tis a mannerly girl, Mistress Thorny, oh, but a homely man's daughter.
You speak your mind freely and honestly. I marvel my son comes not. I'm sure he will be here sometime today.
Today, tomorrow, when he comes, he shall be welcome to bread, beer, and beef, a yeoman's fare, full dishes and whole bellyfuls. Oh, how now, girls? Every day a play day with you, and Valentine's Day too, all by couples I see. And gentlemen, how do you find the wenches? They shall choose accordingly by my consent.
You speak like a kind father. Sue, thou hear the liberty that's granted thee. What sayest thou? Wilt thou be mine?
Your what, sir? I dare swear never your wife.
Canst thou be so unkind, considering how dearly I affect thee? Nay, built on thy perfections.
You are studied, too scholar-like in words I understand not. I am too coarse for such a gallant slut as you are.
By the honor of gentility.
Good sir, no swearing. Yea and nay with us prevails above all oaths you can invent.
Dost thou despise me?
Let him talk, Mistress Thorny. I know Sue's mine. The fly may buzz about a candle, he shall but singe his wings. Frank is he who has her heart.
But shall I let him hope, Kate?
Better so than be a desperate man.
Perhaps thou think it's thy portion I level at. With thou as poor in fortunes, as of rich in goodness, I would rather be suitor for the dower of thy virtue than twice thy father's whole estate. And prithee, be thou resolved so.
Master Somerton, it is an easy labor to deceive a maid who will believe men's subtle promises. Yet I conceive of you as worthily as I presume you do deserve.
Which is as worthily as loving thee sincerely as thou art worthy to be so beloved.
I shall find time to try it.
Do, Kate, do. And when I fail, may all my joys forsake me.
Warbeck and sore at it still, Mistress Thorny. I laugh to myself to see how earnestly he beats the bush when the bird is flown into another's bosom. A very unthrift, Mistress Thorny. One of the country's roaring lads. We have such as well as the city here, yet not so nimble and quick of wit. Sue knows him to inherit's breath, and will fit him accordingly.
What is this other gentleman?
One Somerton, the honester man of the two, by £5 in every stone weight. He has a fine covenanted estate of land in West Ham by Essex. Master ranges that dwell by Enfield brought him hither. He likes Kate well, and I may tell you, I think she likes him as well. I'll not hinder the match on my part. That Warbeck is such another. I use him kindly for Master Somerton's sake, for he came hither as a companion of his. Honest men, Mistress Thorny, may fall into knaves' company from now and then.
300 a year jointer, Sue.
Where lies it? By sea or by land? I think by sea.
Do I look a captain?
Not a whit, sir. Should all who use the seas be reckoned captains, there's not a ship should have a scullion in her to keep her clean.
Do you scorn me, Mistress Susan? Am I a subject to be jeered at?
Neither am I a property for you to use as still to your fond want to lose discourse. Pray, sir, be civil.
Wilt be angry, wasp?
Oh, God have mercy, Sue. Go firkin on my life if you fumble with her. Ah, Master Francis Thorny, you are welcome indeed. How does the right worshipful knight, your master, Sir Arthur Clarendon?
In health this morning, ma'am, my duty.
Now, you come as I could wish.
Frank Thorny.
You must excuse me.
Ah, Mistress Susan, kind Mistress Catherine. Good time of the day of you both.
The like to you.
'Tis he, a word friend. On my life, this is the man who stands fair in crossing Susan's love with me.
I think no less. Be wise and take no notice on it. He that can win her best deserves her.
Marry a serving man. Mew!
Prithee, friend, no more.
Gentlemen all, there's within a slight dinner, if you please the taste of it, Mistress Thorny, Master Somerton, Master Francis. Why, girls, what hussy eyes? Will you spend all forenoon in tittle tattles? Away! Gentlemen, to dinner now.
We'll follow presently. My son and I have a few words of business.
At your pleasure.
I think you guessed the reason, Frank, for which I sent for you.
Yes, ma'am.
I need not tell you with what a labyrinth of dangers daily the best part of my whole estate's encumbered. If you marry with wealthy Carter's daughter, there's a portion will free my land, all which I will instate upon the marriage to you. Otherwise, I must be of necessity enforced to make a present sale of all, and yet, for aught I know, live in as poor distressed, or worse than now I do. I've told you thus before. Have you considered on it?
I have, ma'am, and however I could wish to enjoy the benefit of single freedom, for that I find no disposition in me to undergo the burden of that care that marriage brings with it, yet to secure and settle the continuance of your credits, I humbly yield to be directed by you in all commands.
You have already used such thriving protestations to the maid that she's wholly yours, and speak the truth, you love her, do you not?
To your pity, ma'am, I should deceive her.
Better you've been unborn. But is your love so steady that you need, nay, more desire to make her your wife?
Else, ma'am, if it were wrong not to be righted,
True it were, and you will marry her?
Heavens prostrate, I do intend it.
Oh, thou art a villain, a devil-like man. Wherein have I offended all the power so much to be mother to such a graceless, godless son?
To me, ma'am, this? Oh, my cleft heart.
To be son of my curse, speak truth and blush, thou monster. Hast thou not married Winifred, a maid was fellow servant with thee?
Some swift spirit has blown this news abroad. I'll face it.
Do you study for excuse? Why, all the country is full on it.
With your license, it's not charitable, and I'm sure it is not motherly so much of mere possibilities, but mothers are pleased to think and talk at pleasure.
Why canst thou deny thou hast no wife?
What do you take me for? An atheist? One that nor hopes the blessedness of life hereafter, neither fears the vengeance of due to such a make the marriage bed and inn, which travels day and night, after a toilsome lodging, leave at pleasure, and I become so insensible of losing the glory of creation's work, my soul. Oh, I have lived too long.
Darest thou persever yet, in pull down wrath as hot as flames of hell, to strike thee into the grave of horror? I believe thee not. Get from my sight.
Ma'am, through my innocence needs knoweth a stronger witness than the cleanliness of an impaired conscience. Yet, for that I was informed how mainly you had been possessed of this untruth to quit all scruple. Please, you pursue this letter.
From whom?
Sir Arthur Clarendon, my master.
Well, sir.
On every side I am distracted, and wading deeper into mischief than virtue can avoid. But on I must. Fate leads me, I will follow. Dare you read what confirms you?
Yes, and wonder at it. Forgive me, Frank. Credulity abused me. My tears expressed my joy, and I'm sorry I injured innocence.
Alas, I knew your rage and grief proceeded from your love to me, so I conceived it.
Oh, my good son. I'll bear with many faults in thee hereafter. Bear thou with mine.
The piece is soon concluded.
Why, Mistress Thorny, you wish to talk about your dinner? The company attends your coming. So what will it be? Master Frank or son Frank?
Son, brother, if your daughter like to have it so.
I dare be confident she's not altered.
You took too sure possession of an engaged heart.
Mary, and much good may it do thee. Get me a brace of boys at Burden, Frank. Spare not. When's the day?
Tomorrow, if you please. Choose ceremony of charge and custom or to little purpose. Their loves are married fast enough already.
A good motion. We'll then have a household dinner and let the fiddlers go straight. Let the bride and bridegroom dance, no matter for the guests. Tomorrow, Sue, tomorrow. And now, to dinner?
We're on all sides pleased, I hope.
Pray heaven I may deserve the blessing sent me. Now my heart is settled.
So is mine.
Your wedding shoes shall be pulled on before your marriage money shall be received. Blessings on you both.
No man can hide his shame from having an abuser. In vain he flees, whose destiny pursues him.
And why on me? Why should the envious world cast their scandalous malice upon me? Because I am poor, deformed, and ignorant, and like a bow buckled and bent together by some more strong mischiefs than myself. Must I, for that, be made a common sink for all the filth and rubbish of men's tongues to fall into? Some call me witch, and, being ignorant of myself, they teach me how to be one, urging that my bad tongue, by their bad usage made so, doth bewitch their corn, their cattle, themselves, and their babes at nurse. This they enforce upon me, and in part make me to credit it. And here comes one of my chief adversaries.
Out upon thee, witch.
Dost call me witch?
I do, witch, I do. And worse I would, knew I a name more hateful. What makest thou upon my ground?
Gather a few rotten sticks to warm me.
Down with them, I bid thee. I'll make thy bones rattle in thy skin, else.
You won't, churl, cutthroat, miser! Dare they be, where they step across thy maw, thy bowels, thy jaw, thy midriff!
Sayest thou me so? On my ground!
Dost strike me, slave, curmudgeon? Now thy bones ache, thy joints cramp, and convulsions stretch and crack thy sinews.
Cursing, thou hag! Get that! And that!
Strike, do! And withered may the arms and hands whose blows have lamed me drop from the rotten corpse. Wherein by what art may the thing called familiar be purchased?
A new hat for the vinegar and silver to think for the pipe. Remember that, and forget not 5 leash of new bells.
Double bells. Crooked Lane, you shall have them straight in Crooked Lane. Double bells all if it be possible.
Double bells? Double coxcombs, troubles, find me troubles, all troubles, for our purpose is to be in the altitudes.
All troubles? Not a me?
Not one. The morn is so cast, we'll have neither mean nor base in our company, fellow Rowland.
What? Nor a counter?
No, by no means no haunting counter. Leave that to Enville chasemen. All troubles, all in the altitudes. Now for the deposing of parts in the morris. Little or no labor will serve.
If you that be minded to follow your leader, know me, an ancient honor belonging to our house. For a 4-horse team and a 4-gallon in a morris, my father's stable is never infringed.
But I don't have a 4-horse. What about a good hobby horse?
For a hobby horse, let me seek an almanac. Midsummer moon, let me seek ye. When the moon's in the full, then sweating away. No more. Use your best skill. The whole moors are suffering eclipse.
An eclipse?
A strange one.
Strange?
Yes, most sudden. Remember the 4-gallon, but forget the hobby horse. The whole moors will be darkened. There be of us, but 'tis no matter. Forget the hobby horse.
Cuddy Banks, have you forgotten to see Payson from Enfield Chase to Edmonton? Cuddy has my stuff.
Suffer me, y'all. It shall be known I can take my needs as well as another man. Seek your hobby horse where you can get him.
Cuddy, honest Cuddy, we confess and are sorry for our neglect.
The old horse shall have a new bridle.
The caparisons newly painted.
The tails repaired.
The snaffle and bosses saffron over. Kind,
Honest.
loving, ingenious,
Affable Cuddy. 'Tis shorn and not flint, but affable, as you say. Very well stuffed. A kind of warm dough or puff paste. I relent. I connive, most affable Jack. Let the hobby horse provide a strong back. He shall not want to belly when I am in them. What is there? Oh, the old Witch of Edmonton, for mirth in our cross.
Bless us, Cuddy, and let her curse her tongue eye out. What dost thou?
Ungirt, unblessed is the proverb, but my girdle shall serve as a rallying knot and a fit for all the witches in Christendom. What wouldst thou? Oh, the devil cannot abide to be crossed.
And scorns to come at any man's whistle.
Away with the witch!
Away with the Witch of Edmonton! Away with the Witch of
Still vexed, still tortured. That curmudgeon Banks is ground of all my scandal. I am shunned and hated like a sickness, made scorn to all degrees and sexes. I have heard old beldams talk of familiars in the shape of mice, rats, ferrets, weasels, and I wot not else, that have appeared and sucked, some say, their blood. But by what means they became acquainted with them, I'm now ignorant. Would some power, good or bad, instruct me upon which way I might be revenged upon this churl, I'd go out of myself and give this fury leave to dwell within this ruined cottage, ready to fall with age. Abjure all goodness, be it hate with prayer, and steady curses, imprecations, blasphemous speeches, oaths, detested oaths, or anything that's ill, so that I might work revenge upon this churl, this black cur that barks and bites, and sucks at the very blood of me and my credit. 'Tis all one to be a witch is to be counted one. Vengeance, shame, ruin light upon this canker. Thine, what art thou?
He that has so often written to appear to thee, devil.
Bless me, the devil.
Yes, do not fear me. I love thee much too well to hurt or fright thee. If I seem terrible as such, hate me. I've seen and pitied thy open wrong. Come out of my love to give thee just revenge against thy foes.
May I believe thee?
To confirm it, command me. Do any mischief unto man or beast, and I'll effect it, on condition that uncompelled thou make a deed of gift and soul and body to me.
And, alas, my soul and body?
And instantly, seal it with thy blood, and if thou deniest, I'll tear thy body into 1,000 pieces.
I know not where to seek relief. But shall I, after such covenant sealed, see full revenge upon all that wrong me?
Silly woman, the devil is no liar to such as he loves. Does ever known or hear the devil a liar to such as he affects?
Then I am thine, at least so much of me as I can call mine own.
Equivocations aren't mine. Speak all, tear.
All thine.
Seal it with thy blood. See, now I dare call thee mine. For proof, command me. And instantly I'll enter any mischief, goodness can I none.
And I desire as little. There's an old churl, one Banks.
That wronged thee, lame thee, called thee witch?
The same. First upon him I'd be revenged.
Thou shalt do but name how.
Go touch his life.
I cannot.
Hast thou not vowed?
I won't.
Go kill the slave. Why laugh you?
Silly woman. Because though we have power, no is circumscribed in time and limits. Though he bequests to thee, he's loving to the world and charitable to the poor. That man, as he loved goodness in smallest measure, lived without compass of our reach. His cattle and his corn I'll kill and mildew. But his life until I take him as late found thee cursing and swearing, have no power to touch.
Work on his corn and cattle then.
I shall. The Witch of Edmonton shall see his fall. If she lives for credit in my power, and mine only.
Say how, and in what manner?
I'll tell thee. If thou wishest ill, man, beast, or poor, would spoil or kill, mumble, turn thy back against the sun, and mumble the short orisons. If thou to death or shame pursuum, signatorem tuum.
If thou to death or shame pursuum, song to him and tom pomp and tube.
Perfect. Farewell. Our first made promises of execution against things.
Sancta hoc and poppy paw. I'm an expert scholar. Speak Latin, or I not well what language, as well as the best of them. But who comes here? The son of my worst foe.
What's that she mumbles? The devil's paternoster? Widower else? Mother Sawyer, good morrow.
Ill morrow to thee, and all the world that fled a poor old woman.
Nay, good Gammer Sawyer, whatever it please to call you, I know you are.
A witch?
A witch? Would you or else, I faith?
Your father knows I am by this.
I would he did.
And so in time may you.
I would I might else, but witch or no witch, you are a motherly woman. And though my father be a kind of God bless us, as they say, I have an earnest suit to you. And if you'll be so kind as to come me one good turn, I'll be so cautious as to call you another.
What's that? To spurn, beat me, and call me witch, as your kind father does?
My father? Oh, I'm ashamed to own him. If he has hurt the head of thy credit, there's money to buy thee a plaster, and a small courtesy, which I require at thy hands.
You seem a good young man, and I must dissemble the better to exact my revenge. But for the silver, what wouldst have me do? Bewitch thee?
Bewitched me? I would have thee so good as to unwitch me, or witch me another for company.
I understand thee not. Be plain, my son.
As a pikestaff, mother. Say, you know Kate Carter?
Kate Carter? The wealthy yeoman's daughter. What of her?
That same party hath bewitched me.
Bewitched thee?
Bewitched me, Hiscioribus. I saw a little devil fly out of her eye, which strikes up to this hour, up to the feathers of my own heart. Now, my request is to send one of thy whatchamacallums to either pluck that out or to strike another as fast in hers. Do, and here's my hand. I am thine for 3 lives.
We shall have sport. Thou art in love with her.
Up to the very post, mother.
And thou'st have me make her love thee too.
I think she proves a witch in earnest. Yes, and I could find it 3/4. I could find it in my heart for her to strike her 3/4 deep in love with me too.
But dost thou think that I can do it, and I alone?
Yes, mother witch. Truly, I verily believe so. And when I see it done, I shall be half persuaded so too.
It's enough. What I can do, be sure of. Stand to the west and stand silent. Whatever thou seest or hearest, stand silent and be not afraid.
Huh. Afraid, mother witch? Turn my face to the west, huh? I said I should always keep a back front to her, and not now. And her little devil should be hungry, come creeping up behind me like a cowardly catchpole, and clap his talons on my haunches. It's found me cold, sure. I gutter and shake like an aspen leaf. Heaven joins with me.
If thou to death or shame pursuum, sancta vacatur nomen tuum. How, son? Howest?
Scarcely clean life, mother witch. But did your goblin and you spell blasted together?
A kind of charm I work by. Didst thou hear me?
I heard I know, not the devil, what mumble in a scurvy bass tone. Like a drum that had taken cold the last muster. Very comfortable words. What were they? Who taught them you?
A great learned man.
Learned man? Ha! Learned devil was soon. But what comfortable news about the party?
Who? Kate Carter, I'll tell you. Thou knowest the stile at the west end of thy father's peace field. Be there tomorrow night after sunset, and the first live creature thou seest, be sure to follow. That will bring thee to thy love.
In the peas field? Has she a mind to coddlings already? Ha ha ha! The first live thing I meet, you say? Follow and embrace her?
To sight of her, I mean. She will seem wantonly coy and flee, but do embrace her but once, and in your arms, and she is thine own.
At the stile at the west end of my father's peace land, the first live thing I meet I see, follow embrace her, she shall be thine. Nay, like come embracing, she shall be mine. I'll go near to make an eagle else.
Of all well then, the sense hath won. The father's wrong I'll wreak upon the son.
How now, gentlemen? Cloudy? Ah, Master Warbeck, you're in a fog about my daughter's marriage.
Can you blame me, sir?
Nor you me justly. My hopes are you reserved to a richer fortune than my poor daughter.
However, your promise,
'Tis a sort of debt, I confess it.
which honest men should pay.
Yet some men break from point to point. At your leave, sir.
I confess thou hast a little wrong in the wench, but patience is the only salve to cure it. Since Thorny has won the wench, he has most reason to wear her.
Love in this kind admits no reason to wear her.
Then love's a fool, and what wise men can take exception?
Come, frolic Ned, for every man master his own fortune. Fate might pick straws and destiny go wool gathering.
You hold yours in a string, though. 'Tis well, but if there be any equity, look thou to meet the like usage ere long.
In my love to her sister Catherine, indeed there are pair of arrows drawn out of a single quiver, and should fly believingly. If she do run after her sister,
Look for the same mercy at my hands as I have received at thine.
she'll keep a sure compass. I have too strong a confidence to mistrust her.
And that very confidence is a wind that has blown many a married man ashore at Cuckold's Haven, I can tell you. Of course, I wish hers more prosperous, though.
Whatever you wish, I'll master my promise to thee.
As you did to me.
Please, sir, no more of it. My master Somerton, at the first offered occasion you shall consummate the marriage, and that once sealed.
No harsh language if thou love me. Frank Thorny has done
No more than I or thou or any man thinks so sadly of his life.
good morrow, Master Bridegroom.
Much give thee joy. Mayst thou live long and happy in thy fair choice. Thorny.
I thank you, gentlemen. Kind Master Warbeck, I find you loving.
Much good do thee with her. Virtue and beauty hold fair mixture in her. She's rich, no doubt, in both. Yet were she fairer, thou art right worthy of her. Love her, Thorny. 'Tis nobleness in thee, in her but duty. The match is equal and fair. From success I leave to censure. Farewell, Mistress Bride, till now elected, I will scorn the ride.
Good Master Thorny.
Nay, gentlemen, you shall not leave till you've seen the barrels run a tilt. Gentlemen, gentlemen!
Why change you your face, sweetheart?
Who? I.
Dear, say not so. A spirit of your constancy cannot endure this change for nothing. I have observed strange variations in you.
In me?
In you, sir, awake! You seem to dream, and in your sleep you utter sudden and distracted accents, like one at enmity to peace. Dear loving husband, if I may challenge any interest in you, give me the reason fully. You may trust my breast as safely as your own.
With what? You have amazed me, pretty.
Come, you shall not, indeed, you shall not shut me from partaking in the least dislike that grieves you. I am all yours.
And I all thine.
You are not if you keep the least grief from me. But I find the cause. It grew from me.
From you?
From some distaste in me or my behavior. You are not kind in the concealment. Last, sir, I am young, silly, and plain, more strange to the contents a life should offer. Say but in what I fail, I'll study satisfaction.
Come in nothing.
I know I do. You are as well in what? You should not long be sullen. But prithee, love, if I have been immodest or too bold, speak it in a frown. If peevishly too nice, show it in a smile. Thy liking is the class by which I'll habit my behavior.
Wherefore thou sweet now?
You, sweet, have the power to make me passionate as an April's day. Now smile, then weep. Now pale, then crimson red. You are the powerful moon to my blood sea, to make it ebb and flow into my face as thy looks change.
Change thy consights. I pray thee. Thou art all perfection. Diana herself swells in thy thoughts and moderates thy beauty. Yet, prithee, dear, maintain no more dispute, for when ye speakest, if it's all tongues, be mute.
I must know the grounds of your disturbance.
Then look here, for here is fame which thus hydra of discontent grows rank.
Heaven shield him, where?
In my own bosom, here the cause has root. The poison leeches twist about my heart and will, I hope, confound me.
You speak riddles.
Take it plainly then, 'twas told me by a woman, known and approved in palmistry, I should have 2 wives.
2 wives? Sir, I take it exceedingly likely. But let not conceit hurt you. You are afraid to bury me.
No, my Winifred.
How say you? Winifred? You forget me.
No, I forget myself, Susan.
And what?
Talking of wives, I pretend of Winifred. Maybe that my mother's wait on me before thyself.
I hope, sir, she may live to take my place, but why should all this move you?
The poor girl, she has to be before thee, and that's the theme torments me.
Yet why should this raise immunity within you? Such presages prove often false, or say it should be true.
That I should have another wife?
Yes, many, if they be good, the better.
Never any equal to thee in goodness.
I could wish, sir, that I were much better for you. Yet if I knew your fate ordained you from another, I could wish so well as I love you and your hopeful pleasure, me and my grave, and my poor virtues added to my successor.
Pretty, talk not of death or graves. Thou art so rare of goodness as death would rather put itself to death than murder thee. But we as all things are mutable and changing.
Yet you still move in your first sphere of discontent. Sweet, chase those clouds of sorrow and shine clearly on me.
At my return, I will.
Return? Oh, me, will you then leave me?
Aforetime, I must. But how? As birds their young, or loving bees their hives, to fetch home richer dainties.
Leave me? Oh, now my fear has met its effect. You shall not. Constant my life, you shall not.
Why? Your reason?
Like to the lapwing have you all this while with your false love deluded me, pretended counterfeit senses for your discontent, and now, at last, it is by chance stole from you.
What? What by chance?
Your pre-appointed meeting of single combat with young Warbeck. Even so, dissemble not, 'tis too apparent. Even in his look I read it. Deny it not, I see it apparent. Cost it my life, and unto that my undoing, I will not leave you.
Not until when?
Until he and you be friends. Was this your cunning? And then flare me off with an old witch, 2 wives, and Winifred? You are not as kind indeed as I'd imagined.
And you are by far more fond than I expected. It is our virtue that attends by thy kind, but our business within, and though by this kiss I'll anger thee no more. Troth, Chuck, I will not.
You shall have no just cause.
Nay, Cuddy, prithee do not leave us now, for if we part all this night, we shall not meet before day.
I'm pretty good. Let's keep together now.
Have we ever a witch in the Morris? No. No woman's part but Maid Marian and the Hobby Horse. I'll have a witch. I love a witch.
Faith, witches themselves are so common nowadays that the counterfeit will not be regarded. They say we have 3 or 4 in Edmonton besides Mother Sawyer.
I wish you would dance your part with us.
Not I, for she comes along, death comes along with her.
Well, I'll have a witch. Leave me and get my horse dressed. Give him oats, but water him not till I come. What are you doing first?
To start with the Farringtons first, then whither thou wilt.
Well, I am content. But we must up the Carters, the rich yeoman, and I must be seen on Hobby Horse there.
Oh, I smell him now. I think Banks is in love, and that's why he would choose to walk melancholy by himself.
Go to. No more of that. When I understand what you speak, I know what you say. Believe that. Well, I pray you, good Morris mates. Now leave me. I will be with you by midnight.
Well, since he will be alone, we'll back again and trouble him no more. But
For
remembrance, the hobby horse shall be remembered. Well, now to my walk. I am near the place. I should meet I know not what. So you meet a thief. I must follow him to the gallows. So you meet a horse, or hare, or hound. Still I must follow. Some slow-paced beast, I hope. Yet love is full of lightness and the heaviest lovers. My guide has come. Which way? Which way thou wilt? Thou knowst the way better than I. A kind, gentle cur, well brought up, I warrant him.
Thus I throw off mine own essential horror, and take the shape of a sweet, lovely maid, whom this full dotes on. Will sport with him, but when we reckoning call, will know where to receive. The witch pays for all.
Woof.
Hey, is that the witch one? She's come. Well, if we ever get married, it shall be at Bargain Church in memory of thee. Now, tell the time her. Oh, and have we met, sweet Kate? I will teach thee to walk so late. Oh, see, we meet to meet her. What? Dost thou trip from me? Oh, if I were upon my hobby horse, I could mount after thee so nimble. Nay, by your leave, I must embrace you. Oh, help! 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 I am drowned! This was an ill night to go wooing in. I find it now in the punch of enough. Thinking to land at Catherine's dock, I was almost at Gravesend. I'll never go to a wench in the dog days again. Yet 'tis cool enough. Have you never upon this dog trick? Oh no. Who's that laughs at me?
Whoa.
Peace! Peace!
Take heed thou trustest the devil another time.
How now? Who's that speaks at me? You?
Yes, I can speak.
The devil you can. And what called your name? Dog?
My dame calls me Tom.
Ah, 'tis well. And she may call me ass. So there's a hole in betwixt us, Thomas. She said I should follow you indeed. Well, Tom, give me thy fist. We are friends. You shall be my angel. But I love you. But I pray you, let's have no more of these ducking devices.
Not if you love me. Thou dost love worthy beloved. Cherish me, I'll do anything for thee. Anything, I'll help thee to thy love.
Wilt thou? Oh, you shall not starve, Ningle. If you love fish, I'll help you to maids and souls. I'm acquainted with a fishmonger.
Maids and souls, oh sweet bits, banqueting stuff those.
One thing I would request of you, Ningle, as you have played the knavish crew with me a little, that you would mingle with our Morris dancers tomorrow morning. You can dance?
Yes, it's anything. I'll be there but unseen by none but you. Get thee gone. I've work tonight. I've served more masters and dames than one. The gallant rival loves the maid and is likely to have her. Mark what a mischief before the morse ends shall light on him.
Oh, sweet Ningle, thy nymph once again. Friends must part for a time. Farewell with this remembrance. Shalt have bread when we meet again. If there ever was an honest devil, 'twill be the devil of Edmonton. Farewell, prithee, dog me as soon as thou.
I will not miss thee or be merry with thee. Those that are joys denied must take in delight in sins and mischief. 'Tis the devil's right.
Pray no more. Those tears give nourishment to weeds and beers in me, which shortly will overgrow on top of my head. My shame will sit and cover all that can be seen of me.
I have not shown this cheek in company. Pardon me now. Thus single with yourself, it calls 1,000 sorrows round about. So going before and so on either side, but infinite behind, all chained together. Your second adulterous marriage leaves. That's the sad eclipse. And the effects must follow as plagues of shame swept scorn and obloquy.
Why? Why hast thou not left 1 hour's patience to add to all rest? While we are together, we are at home in any place.
'Tis foul, ill-gotten coin, far worse than usury or extortion.
Let my mother then make the restitution who forced me to take the bribe. My wife is coming.
Who coming? Your wife?
No, thou art here, the woman I knew, not how to call her now, but after this day she shall be quite forgot, and have no name in my remembrance. See, she comes. Go lead the horses to the hill top, and there I'll meet you there.
Nay, with your fever, let him stay a little. I would part with him too because he is your sole companion, and I'll begin with him, reserving you the last.
Ah, with all my heart.
You may hear if it please you, sir.
No, 'tis not fit. Some rudiments, I can see. It must be to overlook my slippery footings, and so.
No, indeed, sir.
Trust, I know it must be so, and it is necessary. On, but be brief.
Mistress, what charge shall you lay upon me? I shall support you faithfully, being honest, to my best strength.
Believe it shall be no other. I know you were commended to my husband by a noble knight.
Oh, gods, mine eyes!
How now? What is thou, lad?
Something hit mine eye. It makes it water still. Even as you said, commended to my husband. Some fly, I think it was. Forsooth, I was commended to his by Sir Arthur Clarendon.
Whose servant my thorny once was himself. That title, methinks, should make you almost fellows, or at the very least much more than a servant, and I'm sure he will respect you so. Your love for him then needs no spur from me, and what for my sake you shall ever do, 'tis fit it should be bought with something more than fairy treats. Look, here is a jewel for thee, a pretty wanton label for thine ear, and I would have it hang there, still to whisper these words to thee. Thou hast my jewel with thee. It is but earnest of a larger bounty when thou returnest home with praises of thy service, which I am confident thou wilt deserve. Why, thou art many now besides thyself. Thou mayst be friend, servant, and wife to him. A good wife is them all. The friend may play the part of the wife and the servant, and shift enough. No less the servant can the friend and the wife. 'Tis all but sweet society, good counsel, interchanged gloves, yes, and counsel keeping.
Not done yet.
Even now, sir.
Mistress, were your severe eye were at present to command, your bounteous hand shall make me nor near or dear unto him that I shall voluntary. I will be all your charge, servant, friend, wife to him.
Wilt thou? Oh, now blessings go with thee for it. Courtesy shall meet thee coming home.
Pray you, mistress, are you jealous of him? If you'll be, I'll look to him that way too.
Sayest thou so? I would thou hadst a woman's bosom now. We have weak thoughts within us. Alas, there is nothing so strong in us as suspicion. But I dare not, nay, I will not think so hardly of my thorny.
Mistress, believe it, I'll be no ponder to him. And at my return protest, I will shall tell you all. He shall hardly offend without my knowledge.
Thine own diligence is that I press, and not a curious eye over his faults. Farewell. If I should never see thee more, take it forever.
Prithee, take thou along with thee, and haste thee to the hill's top. I'll be there instantly.
No haste, I prithee, slowly as thou canst. Pray let him obey me now. 'Tis haply his last service to me. My power is e'en going out of sight.
Why will you delay? We have no other business now but to part.
And will not that sweetheart ask but a long time? Methinks it is the hardest piece of work I ever took in hand.
5-5. Why look, I'll make it plainly and easy to you. Farewell.
Alas, I am not half perfect in it yet. I must have it read over 100 times. Pray you take some pains, I confess my dullness.
What a thorn this rose grows on. Parting were sweet, but what a trouble 'twill be to obtain it. Come. Again and again, farewell. Yet won't you return? All questions of my journey, my stay, employment, and resignation, fully I've answered all. There's nothing now behind, but nothing.
And that nothing is more hard than anything, than all the everythings. This request.
What is it?
That I may take you through one pasture more, up to yon knot of trees. There, amongst the shadows, I will vanish from you. They shall teach me how.
Why, 'tis granted. Walk then.
Nay, not so fast. They say the slowest things have the best perfection. The gentle shower whets to fertility, the churlish storm may mischief in its bounty, the base of beasts takes strength even from the womb, but the Lord Lion's love is feeble long.
Now for an early mischief and a sudden. The mind's about it now. One touch from me soon sets the body forward.
Your request is out. Yet will you leave me?
What? So churlishly? You'd make me stay forever rather than part with such a sound from you.
Why, you almost angered me. Pray be gone. You have no company and 'tis very early. Some hurt will tide you homewards.
Oh, tush, I fear none. Besides, I expect your mother and my father to come meet me or overtake me with you. They began to stir when I came after you. I know they'll not be long.
So I shall have more trouble. Thank you for that. Then I'll ease all at once. 'Tis done now, what I never thought of. You shall not go back.
Why? Shall I go along with the sweet music?
No, to a better place.
Any place, I'm there at home where thou pleasest to have me.
At home? I'll leave you your last lodging. I must kill you.
Oh, fine. You'd frighten me from you.
You see, I have no purpose. I'm unarmed. 'Tis this mystic creed, and it must be. Look, this will serve your turn.
And I'll not turn from it if you be earnest, sir. Yet you may tell me wherefore you'll kill me.
Because you are a whore.
That's one deep wound already. A whore? 'Twas ever further from me than the thought of this dark hour. A whore?
Yes, I'll prove it, and you shall confess it. You are a whore. No wife word misses the words a second of it. I was before wedded to another, have her still. To now lay the sin unto your charge, 'tis all my own. Your marriage was my theft, for I spoused your dowry, and I haven't. The devil did not prompt me. Till this minute, you might have safer terms. Now you cannot. You have dogged your own death. I meant never to return to you after this parting.
Why? I thank you more. You have done so lovingly leaving yourself that you would thus bestow me on another. Thou art my husband, Death, and I embrace thee with open arms. Forget the stain of my unwitting sin, and I come a crystal virgin to thee. My soul's purity shall with bold wings ascend the doors of mercy, for innocence is ever her companion.
Not yet, mortal. I will not leave you to drop the blood.
No, heaven reward you near the worst for me. I did not think death had been so sweet, nor I so apt to love him. I could ne'er die better, had I stayed 40 years in preparation, for now I am in charity with all the world. Let me be thine own example, then, heaven, and do to this man as I him. Free forgive, and make me better die, and better live.
'Tis done, and I am in. Once past our height, is going to give us biscuit. This follows now. To heal our wounds by dressing of the weapon, arms, thighs, any place, we must not fail. Light scratches, giving such deep ones, grabbing the knees. Oh, now the storms are overblown, many fears may follow. So, I'm fast. I do not think I could have done so well behind me. How prosperous and effectual mischief sometimes is. Help! Help! Murder! Murder! Murder!
Whom pulls the bell for?
Oh!
The cause appears to
Oh!
Susan, girl, not speak to thy father?
Oh, lend me some assistance to overtake the hapless woman.
Let's overtake the murderers. Speak while thou canst. Anon may be too late. I fear thou hast death's mark upon thee too.
I know them both, yet such an oath, as beholds their mention of them to broke. I dare you name them, that was forced men.
Keep oath with murderers, that were conscious to hold the devil in.
Nay, I can describe them. Shall show them as familiar as your names. His Satan's doubles, white but crimson lines, horse of black suits, cloak of scarlet.
Warbeck, do you list to this, sir?
Yes, I list, here's nothing to be heard.
The other's cloak, branch, velvet, black, velvet lines, his suit.
I have him already. Somerton! Final revenge all this. Come, sir. The first work is to pursue the murderers once we have removed these mangled bodies hence.
Take that carcass there. I'll not own her now, she's none of mine. Bold me off for a dumb show, no. I'll have life. 'Tis my son too. While there's life within his lungs, 'tis half mine.
Alas, what grief may do now. Look, sir, I'll take this load of sorrow with me.
And I'll take this. How do you, sir?
Oh, very ill, sir.
Yes, I think so. 'Tis well you can speak yet, for there is no music but in sound, and sound it must be. I have not cried these 20 years before, I guess ere the day that girl was born. Yet now methinks if but I knew the way, my heart so full, I could weep night and day.